Hey everybody, it's Bryan Brisson. I'm here again, recapping our best bets of the NFL's second week. So let's just start off with our first loss and our only loss of the weekend, actually. The Philadelphia Eagles -3 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have underestimated the Buccaneers. Just plain and simple. I don't think this team's very talented, but I think the change in play calling has changed the team greatly. You look at how they're playing, they did not make a great improvement on the offensive line. I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Jameis Winston talent-wise. So I look at who their offensive coordinator is and who's calling the plays. Last year, Coach Dirk Cutter was calling the plays. Now it is Ted Monken, I believe his name is. He's the offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay. He is now calling the plays, and through his first 2 weeks, he has been very successful, putting up 48 against the Saints in week 1 and 27 versus a far superior Philadelphia Eagles team week 2. The defense, I still am not sold on the Bucs defense. They're not really great. I mean, that they held the Eagles to 21 points, so that's good. But I'm not sold on that defense, but that offense is clicking on all cylinders. Jameis Winston comes back in 2 weeks. He might be starting, he might not. You never know. If I'm the Bucs and Ryan Fitzpatrick has the hot hand, you ride his hot hand until you know it's not going any longer. Like I said, I think Jameis Winston will become the starter. Just it's a matter of time. When will he become the starter? I don't see Fitzpatrick being able to keep up this rate of play for a whole season. He had over 400 yards both week 1 and 2. Phenomenal. Great for him, but he has a cycle in his career. You look at it, he starts, does well as a backup, and his spot starts. A team takes a risk on him. He kind of falls flat on his face. A team, picks him up as a backup, does well. So I think we're at the beginning of the restart of this cycle. Next year he'll be someplace else. Somebody will take a chance on him. But right now, Tampa Bay looking very good. I am not going to be betting against them until this quarterback change comes about. That I just learned 2 weeks in a row, big upsets. Can't keep having it happen and losing money like that. So we're going to move on to our second game of the week. The Los Angeles Chargers -7 at the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills suck. Said it last week. Said it this week. Going to say it again next week. They suck. They're the worst team in the NFL. Their quarterback play is subpar. Josh Allen, he did not look great. He didn't look as bad as I thought he would. He just did not look very good, in my opinion. Vontae Davis, as many of you heard, gave up on this team at halftime. They were down 28-6. And I can say they tried to come back and make a game of it. They didn't, but they tried. And that's all you can really ask from the Buffalo Bills this year. Just try. Try to win one game, please. So, the Buffalo Bills suck. The Chargers, the reason I took them was not really because of the Chargers. It was because of the Bills. I will more than likely bet against them this week. But the Chargers did look pretty well. Melvin Gordon doing good. Phillip Rivers doing Phillip Rivers things. The guys on Pardon My Take, presented by Barstool Sports, brought up a new measurement system for an elite quarterback, and it's called the Phillip Rivers line, a lot like the Mendoza line in baseball. If you would trade your quarterback for Phillip Rivers in a must-win game, your quarterback's not elite. And I can say, I kind of agree. Phillip Rivers is like the guy who straddles that line. He's not over the top great, but he's not horrible. I think that's a great way to measure it, and Phillip Rivers did very well for us this week with the Chargers -7. Let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings +1. The Vikings, God, it was a tie. I can't say they looked good. I can't say they looked bad. We won our bet because we had them +1 and they tied. That's good for us. That's more money in our pocket. There were some great throws Kirk Cousins had. I'm going to point to the one that should have been picked off to Adam Thielen for the touchdown. How do they not pick that off? Like, that is, I don't want to even say that was a good throw. It was just right there. Perfect timing. Fell right between the defender's arms, right into Adam Thielen's lap, and we covered +1. Good for us. Minnesota, keep chugging, I think they're going to end up winning this division, but you can't win divisions on ties. You just can't. Let's move on to the Chicago Bears in our Monday night pick. We had the Bears -3. At kickoff, I saw this line as high as -5, which if you got it at kickoff -5, it still covered. The Bears looked very good defensively, as we expected them to. Mitchell Trubisky looked better. He tied his career high for touchdowns. He threw 2. Actually, no, I think he set it. Sorry. He set his career high for touchdowns with 2. He threw 2 touchdowns. That's his career high. What? That's crazy to me. But hey, doesn't matter. We covered. We won. We got our money. We came out 3-1 on the weekend, 75%. I'm not going to say we're going to keep doing this every week. I hope we can. We will always win money if we can go 75% every weekend. 3-1 every weekend. That's pretty damn good. Congratulations to all you that won money out there, and I'll see you guys later this week when I do NFL Best Bets for Week 3. Oh, I did want to cover something. I wanted to talk about the Thursday night game. This past weekend, Rutgers and Kansas played. People dubbed it the worst college football game of the century. Well, we have probably the worst NFL game of the decade coming up on Thursday night with the Browns and the Jets. Both of these organizations are just terrible. They suck. The Jets might finally have a decent quarterback. I think Sam Darnold will be the best quarterback in Jets history, personally. Because, let's just face it, that's not very hard to do. When your competition is Chad Pennington and Joe Namath, pretty much just complete the majority of your passes and throw more touchdowns than interceptions. The Browns might finally win a game. They haven't done that in a very long time. The Browns haven't won a game on a Sunday in over 1,000 days. Just let that sink in. 1,000 days since the Browns won on a Sunday. Do you know how hard that is? That's almost 3 years. And you can't win on a Sunday. The day you play most of your games. But congratulations to the Browns. They cut Zane Gonzalez. Hopefully they can find a kicker. I believe they signed some kid out of FAU. Maybe he'll do better. Anyways, signing off. See you guys later this week.